And welcome back to Locked On NHL's coverage of the 2022 NHL Draft. Gil Martin, glad to be with you from Locked On NHL. Brandon Pillar from Locked On Senators is our prospects expert. And with me now, Dan Holmi of Locked On Capitals. The Capitals going the Russian route. And Dan, your thoughts on this pick? And, you mentioned before we started recording a possible eventual replacement for Alexander Ovechkin. That's a little bit shocking to hear, but your thoughts?
I think that, maybe that's a bit out there to say something like that, but I think, at some point he's going to be ready for the big time. This is a guy that he's been called a high risk, a high reward, but before his diagnosis with Hodgkin's lymphoma, he was considered a top 10 player. So I think that the Capitals have to be all in on this. It seems like the Capitals in general have a soft spot in their heart for Russian players. So kind of keeping on par with what they've done in the past. They picked up another really great player, left wing. And, I'm sure he's a couple years out, but I think he will fit in with the organization just fine.
Brandon, the health concerns obviously an issue. I mean, before the health issues, he was considered possibly a top 10 pick and a very dynamic player. Your thoughts on what is probably a little bit of a gamble by the Caps?
I like this gamble, though, and if anyone was going to take it on a Russian player like this, I think it makes sense that the Washington Capitals do that. And now, I'm no doctor, but from the reports I heard, it seems like the treatment that he had for Hodgkin's lymphoma has gone well, thankfully, and we wish all the best for Miroshnichenko. And he's someone that he has, like Ovechkin, he has a lot of power in his shot. He has no issues taking shots from range and beating goalies. And he sets up in the left circle for one-timers on the power play, like those Russian snipers like to do, play on their... He's a right shot that plays on the left wing so that he can set up for his shot really well. And he's someone that, like a lot of Russian prospects, they excel offensively. And he really is going to put a lot of fear into opponents if he gets in the right spots on the power play.
Dan, do you see Alexander Ovechkin sort of taking him under his wing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, that's what was done to him when he first came to the Washington Capitals. He actually lived with then GM George McPhee. Oh. So I think that only seems fitting that he would take him under his wing. There's quite a brotherhood on that team of Kuznetsov and Orlov and Samsonov. So, I mean, I think that's good for those players. And I think that he has a really bright outlook.
And I mean, I could seriously see him contributing on the power play in a few years after he arrives in the NHL.
Yeah, definitely. He does have he can slam that puck home from the left, just like Ovechkin can. So, I mean, there are certain parallels that can be drawn to Alex Ovechkin, not just the fact that he's Russian, but as long as he's able to get past this illness, and Jason Serbis, the head physical guy, said that he went over his report and he's good to go. I think that, the arrow's pointing up for him, and I see good things for him in the future.
Brandon, what is the thing he needs to improve on the most to get to the NHL?
I would say Miroshnichenko has a lot of work to do defensively. And again, like a lot of Russian prospects, they're very focused on offense, but the lack of defense is going to be very interesting, but he has a lot of time. I think that lack of effort on defense can be coached out, and it's something that the Washington Capitals are obviously very aware of, and I'm sure they've scouted this player a lot. So with time and with good development, I think you can really let this guy thrive on the power play and hope that through coaching and development, he's not a complete liability defensively.
Dan, the biggest need for the Capitals after this pick has been made?
I mean, I think that they need to pick up depth defensemen. I think they need to shore up the defense and then some depth forwards as well. I think they're going to steer clear of a goaltender since they're stocked pretty well in that regard. But I think defense will be the next want that they have.
All right. Well, you can hear more about the Capitals with Dan Holmi on Locked On Capitals, wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube. Dan, Brandon, thanks so much.